Hello and welcome to the Week 9 for our subject DRRR or Disaster Readiness and Risk Reduction. Let us have a review first in our topic last meeting. So given the definition of jumbled words, write the correct term. First, we have PHYNOTO, which is a low pressure area or a wide and violent tropical cyclone. It rotates in the counterclockwise direction with warm air rising above the western Pacific Ocean warm water. Okay, so the answer is typhoon. Then we have LFODO, which is characterized as superfluous water that swamps normally dry land and properties. Okay, so the correct answer is flood. Then we have Enye, Nial. This represents period of under average sea surface temperatures across the equatorial Pacific in the East Central Pacific. Okay, so the correct answer would be La Nina. Then we have two words. First is MRSTO, then the second one is GRSU, is an abnormal rise in sea level during tropical cyclones or bagyo. All right, so the answer would be storm surge. Then we have MROTSREDNUHT, which is a local storm created by cumulonimbus or cumulus clouds and are often accompanied by lightning and thunder, usually with strong wind gusts, heavy rain, and occasional hail and or tornado. All right, so the correct answer is thunderstorm. Then we have Enye, Noeli, which refers to the large-scale ocean-atmosphere climate interaction linked to the regular warming of the sea surface temperature around the equatorial Pacific region and East Central. Okay, so the correct answer is El Nino. Then the last one, we have AFLSOFLOD, which is often caused by heavy rainfall in short time span, typically less than 6 hours. All right, so the correct answer is flash flood. For this session, we will be talking about fire hazard. By the end of this session, you are expected to have the following learning competencies. First is to recognize elements of the fire triangle in different situations. Then second is analyze the different causes of fire. As I was saying, we will be discussing all about fire hazard for this session. So fire is considerably a friend, but once fire is not controlled, it could be one of our worst enemies. Irresponsibility may lead to disaster and everything may change as fast as a split second. Based on the Bureau of Fire Protection or BFP, an average of 42 fire incidents were recorded from 2013 to 2017. You probably have heard of the fire that broke out at Kentex Manufacturing, which is a factory of slippers and shoes in Valenzuela, in Metro Manila on May 13, 2015. It is considered as the third worst fire incident in our country, killing 74 people trapped inside the said factory, just next to the 1996 Ozone Disco Club fire and the 2001 Manor Hotel fire that led to the death of 162 and 75 people, respectively. In all fire cases, loss of lives, jobs, investments, and even properties can literally go up in smoke in just a matter of hours. Knowledge on the behavior, causes, effect, and safety tips can help save lives and properties. Fire is described as combustion or burning, in which substances combine chemically with oxygen from the air and typically give out bright light, heat, and smoke. Ancient Greeks considered fire as one of their major elements like water, earth, and air. Unlike water and earth and even air, fire is known to be just an event that happens when matter changes from one form to another. Fire is the rapid oxidation of material in the exothermal chemical process of combustion, releasing heat, light, and various reaction products. So this is the fire triangle. The fire triangle or combustion triangle is a simple model for understanding the necessary ingredients for most fires. The triangle illustrates the three elements a fire needs to ignite. We have heat, fuel, and an external oxidizing agent. So this is typically the oxygen. A fire naturally occurs when elements are present and combined in the right mixture. A fire can be prevented or is extinguished by removing any one of those elements in the fire triangle. For example, covering a fire with a blanket blocks the oxygen and it could extinguish a fire. A large fire where firefighters are called in, decreasing the amount of oxygen is not usually an option because there is no effective way to make that happen in an extended area. As being said, the fire triangle has three elements, mainly the fuel, heat, and oxygen. The fuel is any material that can be burned, such as solid, liquid, or even gas. Combustion takes place when the fuel is converted into gaseous state as moisture is being removed. This happens when the vapor escaping from any combustible material. Then we have heat. Heat is an energy that flows through the object. Enough amount of heat would free the vapor from solid and liquid forms of the fuel. The lowest temperature needed to form an ignitable mixture in the air near the surface of the liquid is called the flash point. The higher the flash point, the more difficult it is to ignite the material. The ignition of the fire to solid and liquid fuels varies. Most solid combustible materials ignite immediately. Other solid combustible materials takes time to ignite due to its density. Then we have the oxygen. Obviously, oxygen is an element which is estimated about 21% of it can be found in our air. During the combustion process, the chemical reaction takes place. The oxygen is released and serves as an oxidizing agent for combustible materials. Without an oxidizing agent like oxygen, there will be no fire even if heat and fuel are present. So therefore, you remove one of the three elements of fire is enough to put off the flame or the fire itself. Let us proceed on how to extinguish a fire. So the theory of fire extinguishment is based on removing any of the three elements in the fire triangle to suppress the fire itself. Removing the fuel. In most cases, removing the fuel from the fire is not a practical way of extinguishing the fire, except when dealing with the flammable liquid fires. Valves can be shut off and storage vessels pumped to safe areas to help eliminate the supply of fuel to the fire. Then we have removing the heat. The goal here is to lower the temperature, which is usually accomplished by adding water as an extinguishing agent. The other extinguishing agents include chemical and mechanical foams. Then we also have removing or remove the oxygen. Air is mainly 21% oxygen, and this is sufficient to support the combustion in most fire situations. The removal of air or oxygen can be accomplished by uh, separating it from the fuel source or by displacing it with other gases like carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and even steam. Examples of the separation would be foam on the flammable liquid fire, a wet blanket on a trash fire, or a tight fitting lid on a skillet fire. Foam does not only lower the temperature but also removes the oxygen. The causes of fire can be natural or human made incident. Natural causes of fire, such as lightning. So, the lightning that strikes at any combustible material which can set trees on fire that might eventually result to forest fire or even a wildfire. This is the most common natural cause of fire. We also have volcanic activities. So, the volcanic activities could also cause fire. During volcanic activity, it spews out hot gases, ash, and lava. When these hot materials get in contact with a flammable materials, it might start a wildfire. Then we also have a spontaneous combustion, which is another natural cause of fire. This happens when a hydrocarbon substance unexpectedly create a fire without an apparent cause. Pyrophoric substances ignite spontaneously the pyrophoric substances ignite spontaneously in air at below 54 degrees or within 5 minutes after getting contact into the air. Examples of pyrophoric substances are iron sulfide, plutonium, and uranium. Sometimes it is also due to the combustion of dry fuel such as sawdust, dried leaves, and grasses. Spontaneous combustion can arise in the presence of substances with low ignition temperatures, which requires a not too high temperature to ignite. So, like hay, a straw, and other types of grasses. When these dried grasses stuck together, it releases heat, and in the presence of oxygen and moisture or even bacterial fermentation, it will spontaneously produce a fire. Human-made causes of fire are those products of human errors or machine failures. Wildfires or forest fires caused by human activities such as machinery sparks when cutting logs in the forest, cast away cigarette butts in dried grasses, and sometimes due to kaingin or even arson, which is a human-inflicted fire by directly setting the area to burn. So one of the human-made causes of fire is the house fire, which is a fire incident that is generally caused by a human and machine error. The following are the common causes of house fire. First, we have cooking equipment. Pots and pans can be overheated when a person gets distracted while cooking or leaves cooking unattended. So this is the most common cause of house fire. Then we also have heaters. So the portable heaters can cause fire when it is placed near objects that can easily burn, like curtains and laundry clothes. Then we also have smoking in bedrooms. A cigarette that is not put out properly can cause fire, as the cigarette butts can continuously burn in a few hours. It can also immediately cause fire when it get in contact with highly flammable materials. Then we also have candle. It is not actually a hazard, but when left unattended, it can easily burst into flames and cause fire. Then we also have curious children. Kids can sometimes cause fire out of curiosity. So they wanted to see what would happen if they set something to fire or to an object. Then we also have faulty wiring. Homes with insufficient wiring can cause fires from electrical hazard. Signs that you can observe if you have faulty wirings are: first, light dim if you use appliance. For an appliance to work, you have to disconnect another, and fuse blow up or trip circuit breaker frequently. Then we also have barbecues. This is a great outdoor activity or one of the most famous street foods in the Philippines. Avoid doing this activity near tablecloth, trees, or even plants. Then we also have flammable liquids. Petrol, kerosene, or other type of methylated substances are the most common flammable liquids found at home that can cause fire if not properly stored. Always store them in a cool, dry place, and especially out of the reach of the children rather. Then we also have lighting. So the lampshades and lighting fittings can build heat if they are very close to light bulbs. So too much heat can eventually ignite materials, and it could result to fire incidents.